Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town.
Yeah, obviously a pleasing result. A win at this stage of the season is the most important thing. We know we're a long way behind where we want to be, and we need to get points on the board as quickly as we can. So tonight's a good start for that. Obviously against a team who are considerably ahead of us in the league, and if we hadn't have won tonight, they're probably out of sight. So a really important 3 points, and everyone's happy with that.
Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, except anyone associated with Lincoln FC. I'm only joking, but sadly the game New Year's Day is off. But that was our manager, Kieran McKenna, after last night's blockbuster win over Wycombe again, which we saw our team dominate. So I'm very excited to be sat here this evening with two wonderful contributors and you, the Talking Town community, for this, our last show of 2021. Absolutely, another year has flown by. Where it has gone, I do not know. But here we are, the last show of 2021. Because even I couldn't get away with a show on New Year's Eve. I did think about attempting it, but I thought I should probably spend some family time and see the new year out in the right way. Speaking of seeing things out, you should have been in my front room about 5 minutes ago, friends, because I've made myself a glass of water for the show. I'm drinking milkshake like it's going out of fashion to coat the throat. I made a glass of milkshake in a wine glass, of course, because I'm a classy bird. And I spilt the milkshake, first of all over the carpet. Then, as I was trying to sort the milkshake out, I spilt the tap water forwards off the table over the sofa. Hence why the red throws disappeared from the sofa. And all as the timer was ticking by, closer and closer, the contributors hadn't had their link for the show. It was like 40 towers. Let me tell you, for nothing. It was like 40 towers in here. Absolutely embarrassment. Still, we're here. My arm isn't too wet. I have no drinks for the show, but we'll battle through the best we can. Colin Plum, well done to Kieran McKenna, and also all the Ipswich Town FC squad. Onwards and upwards, come on you Blues. John Ipswich, great game last night. Hard fought. Lee Brown, evening everyone. Hope all is well. Get well soon, Martin. Wasn't the same last night outside Sir Ralph. Thank you ever so much, Leah. Appreciate that. It's a really nice statement from you. Sarah Davis, evening everyone. What a great evening it was yesterday. Onwards and upwards for the Super Blues. Absolutely. Sarah, I hope you're okay. Hang in there. Only 99% of Twitter are arseholes. Only 99%. We've got Adam Blamplate in the room. Welcome in, Adam. We've got Felix, who was on a high. One of the best days of his life, he said on the post-game show yesterday. Unbelievable, Felix. There will be a link. So if you are still on that high following the win, get involved, get in touch. Of course, you could do what Felix did yesterday, not only once, but twice. You can support the show through YouTube Super Chats. Felix was that happy. He hit the contribute button with the YouTube Super Chat. Then he came on the show, and then he did another Super Chat. As he said, one of the best days of his life. And as I said to Matt, if he ever gets to the playoff final, I can't imagine the emotions of the poor guy. Stephen Parry, looking forward to seeing those who their opinions. I had my say it's a big screen for me. Well, hello from the big screen. Mike D, lots of you in for the last show of the year. I love it. Durrance, good evening all. Great win last night. Just what was required. Before we bring in the cruncher, I'm pressing buttons now by mistake. That's always a risk when one of them does turn it off. I don't know which one it is. But a huge thank you to all of our Talking Town Fifth Stand members. If you don't want to do a YouTube Super Chat like our man Felix, you can, of course, do what the cruncher, Kathy Wade, Kathy Williams, Alex Wilson, Andy, Ash, Big Dave, many others do. And that is go to our Ko-Fi and support us through there, either by a one-off donation or through the monthly allowance. All monthly allowances start from £5, but you can input whatever you need to suit your budget. And there is the third screen. No, that's another third screen. I do apologise. There are some names missing. Hey, maybe for the new year I'll set a resolution to be more in keeping with it. Right. Before I bring the cruncher in, I'm not going to play his intro. I'm going to play the introduction to our new manager at Portman Road. We brought to you yesterday the first picture from the dugout, courtesy of Rich. Well, let's just relive the moment. Kieran McKenna was introduced to Portman Road. Maybe you didn't make it last night. Maybe you were there. But here it is. Let me make it the only layout. There we go. And away we go. And there he is, Crunch, Mr. Kieran McKenna. You brought the first pictures to us. There he is being introduced. What are your thoughts on Mr. McKenna?
How are you feeling? Have you had one of them tablets?
I've had
3.
three.
One of them tablets, man the fuck up tablets.
Oh, fuck off, will you? I've had 3 clindamycins. All right, I'm on the antibiotics. I'm on the milkshake like it's going out of fashion.
Mike Brown was giving you some stick today when he was giving Matt Phillips stick. Mike Brown, the man who never goes to games, and he's saying to Matt, "Where were you last night?"
Well, the fisherman.
The bloody cheek of it.
Oh, I know. Who put 50p in him? Fuck's sake. I mean, you go to one game. It's almost like going for your first night out in it and saying, "Where were you last Saturday?" It's like, well, I'm out every week, mate. Every week. I did the public service duty. I thought instead of spreading my germs, I'm going to keep them to this living room. It's what we should all be doing in a time of a pandemic. But anyway, Kieran McKenna there. Introduction on point. The rip roar of 26,000 people. How was it when he was introduced, Crunch? Did you get a goosebump?
Yeah, look, we've had a lot of managers down the years.
Well, yes, that's true. 19, but it's like they've all been in my lifetime.
For the last few years, we've had a few. So you just think, hopefully, this is the one who's going to actually get it right on the pitch. And I love these. We'll probably talk about it. I love these post-match interview, Martin. I thought he's really measured with what he says. It's not full of sound bites like Cook was.
No, that's very true.
There's no voice changes. It's all sensible chat, and it's a positive start.
It's also something subconsciously rooted in the Ipswich Town psyche that means the Scottish accent is a little bit soothing to us. Because I hear him speak now, and I hear the little subtle Scottish twang come
Scottish. He's Irish.
Is it Ireland? Is it Ireland? Well, there you go. Fucking there you go.
He's Irish.
There you go. We've ended 2021 in style by fucking off a whole nation. Classic. Here we go. Fuck it. Whatever next lizard people coming down to save us. I don't know. Fuck. What a way to end the year.
Yeah, look, it was good to end on a victory, and it's just a shame that there you go, Lewis Robertson. He said he's as Scottish as he is. It's just a shame that there's not another game Saturday around the corner.
Put it this way, I knew he went from Suffolk with that accent. That's as much as I know. I'm a Suffolk boy. Well, you're not from round here, are you? But yeah, fuck. That was a bit of an own goal. There we go.
But this is someone who you might get a lot of people say that he's inexperienced, Martin, and in management he is. But when you look at him, that he's been coaching. I was speaking to the fisherman this morning. He's been coaching for 13 years. At a good level with good managers. Pochettino under Mourinho, obviously Solskjaer. So he's obviously wet behind the ears as a manager, but tactically and that, I think he's going to be bang on. I really do.
He is. Apparently, he's a Northern Irishman. So, for those that are saying he's Irish, I mean, technically, are you technically pissing off two nations? I mean, he's not Irish. He's Northern Irish. That So, I've upset the whole fucking home nations tribe. Just gonna leave accents to other people next time. I think. I was trying to decipher it while doing the show. There's no excuse for it. That was just poor own goal. Poor own goal. It's the tonsillitis, It's also creeped to my ears. So
we'll let you
and
off.
my brain. My very
We'll let you
small
off, mate.
round. £2 from Owen Griffiths. Trap. I mean, come on. If the Gov calling McKenna Scottish doesn't get you YouTube super chat, and I don't know what will, but a trapped nerve in the neck, it can do one. It certainly can, Owen. Lewis O'Connor, Campo's Nigerian. It's fucking gone from bad to worse, isn't it? Jesus. I wish we could start again. Live broadcast. I can't.
Don't worry. Oh. This is why everyone should be watching this show and no other shows.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yes, absolutely. Mike D. Also, like how McKenna didn't call them Nors or Macca.
He's called them the Bash Brothers, isn't he?
He has called them the Bash Brothers. He absolutely has. Right. You say about his press conferences. No Kally intro today. We're going to go with a little bit of the press conference. Here, I learned more in this 40-second clip than I did under any of the previous managers.
Yeah, lots of pleasing aspects. It wasn't pretty at times. It was never going to be against Wycombe. To be honest, the game was. I didn't envisage that it was going to be anything other than what it was. It was a tough, gritty game. First 20-25 minutes, we managed to control with the ball a little bit. We were finding the spare man quite well. But after that, they locked on man-to-man and marked man-to-man all over the pitch like they do. So it was very hard to build up, and we had to go over the press quite a bit and play off second balls. And I thought we'd done the ugly bits of the game really, really well. We were competitive in all the challenges. The players worked their socks off. We got up to the ball, we pressed well, we blocked crosses, we defended set plays and balls into our box well.
Well, if that isn't insightful, I don't know what is. I rather like that, Kally. Welcome in. Welcome to the last show.
Kally, you were going to wear in that red shirt.
Me?
Yeah.
I ain't got the red shirt. No, I just said that's for my birth year. I had to Google that.
Oh,
I can't find that. No, if I did, it certainly wasn't going to fit if I was in my birth year.
I did actually think that.
But I've single-handedly pissed off 3 of the 4 home nations. Kally, it's up to you to piss off the Welsh.
Well, I thought, McKenna's probably one of the best Welsh products out of Man United since Ryan Giggs. So, it reminds me of that other great manager from his nation, Coleman, right? Very similar to Chris Coleman. So,
both very good. Both play 3-5-2.
There you go. It's a Welsh thing.
Giggsy's not even Welsh anyway.
Who, Coleman?
No, Giggsy.
Yeah, he's as Welsh as McCarthy is Irish.
Actually, Kally, I see Ryan Giggs when he was called Ryan Wilson play at Wembley for England's schoolboys.
I seen him sneaking out of his brother's house.
Fuck's sake. All views are their own and not off the network. Tell you what, though, he did milk that 30 seconds of technically fame, Brian Giggs' brother, didn't he? The old Paddy Power adverts. They were ace. They were proper ace when he did them. I really enjoyed those adverts.
The thing is, he lost everything. He might as well make a little gain somewhere. He lost his missus, lost his money little tree coming in from his brother now as well. So it's all right. I better earn some quid myself. But yeah,
absolutely. But McKenna there with some of the tactical insight. I've not heard a manager speak with such tactical, not awareness, but openness. Kally, at Ipswich Town particularly for forever and a day. That's such a refreshing. We're going to treat the fans as big boys.
Well, I don't like it. I don't trust him. If there's only one voice tone in the press conference, then what type of manager is that? If he's not going up and down, then I can't trust the bloke. But now,
to be fair though, Kally, our teams did play like Paul Cook's voice changes. You never know what the fuck you're going to get.
Well, that was the genius of his press conference that no one really understood. Was that in those 3-4 minutes, he displayed the 90 minutes that had happened during that game. So it's like we're up here, we were up there, we're down here, we were down there. So Paul Cook was a genius, but no, it's one of those. Paul Cook was the past. He's the past. McKenna, on a serious note, yeah, it's good to hear him actually talking. He did a few little bits and bobs where he talks about, he looks at the analysis. He's a coach, right? And this is the first time we're getting like a head coach. We've always had managers. There's always been whether the manager's in charge of transfers or recruitment in one way or another. Mm-hmm. Whereas Paul Cook's probably had that in his previous tenure when he's been at other clubs. Here, there's a bit of Ashton's dashboard and, like the young, was it the Australian chap that they signed, the striker? I want to say he's Australian.
Dingy.
Yeah,
Dingy.
so Cookie never even seen him play. But now we're in the mode where it's a head coach you need. A lot of clubs that are set up like this,
Ipswich
is how they.
buses. You're
Oh,
sorry.
fucking hell.
I pressed the wrong button. Sorry.
Fucking hell. Just tell me to shut up, mate. Do you know what I mean? But nah, I think the head coach is. We haven't had this before, so it's going to be a bit more exciting. We're going to have a bit more, a bit more conversation about the tactics, about how we're getting set up, how we're going to do things. He was talking about injuries as well, and actually giving like dates when they'll be coming back. On the previous press conference. So, it's refreshing. It's refreshing.
John Nolan is alive. He is alive.
He is alive. Talking about miraculous resurrections, we'll get to Luke Wolfenden in a bit. But
Jesus?
Sorry. Yes, Luke the Jesus Wolfenden.
Luke
Sorry,
the Jesus Wolfenden.
I pressed the wrong button by accident. It's this tonsillitis. It's obviously creeping to my pea-sized brain because I'm all over the shop early doors. I'm swaying like a Paul Cook side under pressure. Stephen Parry, know about where injured players are. It's needed. We can buy into it if we need. Extra ad break says Felix. That's all it was really. Stoppy's beer says safety guy. The Matt Phillips has just taken receipt of his Christmas present crunch. Romanian wine by the crate load arrived to him, courtesy of the Gov. But anyone would think I'm on the bloody stuff tonight. Gee,
wasn't that an episode of Only Fools and Horses?
But the Romanian wine.
That just seems like it should have been an episode. I'm sure there was. It's got images of you and Crunch, Del Boy and Rodney unloading it at the back of Matt Phillips's house.
I don't even think me, Cruncher, and Matt could have got away with Peckham Springs as an idea. Like just
Spring.
That was brilliant.
Tap water. That's absolutely brilliant. £5 from Lewis Robinson. Thank you very much, Lewis. Appreciate it. Wolfie, man of the match. But special mention to Evans, Penny, and Aladke. All have previously got stick, but thought all three were solid last night. Well, you were there, Rich. Obviously, me and Kally we're part-time fans. We took the night off, watched on the iFollow service, one camera and all. How did you see it when you were there? Atmosphere, playing style, from first minute to last minute. Norwood at left midfield. You've seen a lot of managers. You've seen a lot of football. What do you make of what Kally was saying, etc.?
Look, you and Mike have said about the formation. The three centre backs, I think it suits us down to the ground, doesn't it? You see how, especially in the first half, that like they all had a little go, didn't they? Danasian had a great run, didn't he, Kally? And then he had a nosebleed. He did. But it was giving him that extra man. There was a couple of times where Edmondson he got forward and then he turned back, and I thought, no, keep going. You're there. But listen, it was a positive performance. We played on the front foot. I still think we need to get a little bit fitter. Right? And I think I said after the Sunderland game, we die a little bit in the second half. I think we put so much effort into that first half, the pressing, closing down. Norwood, I see him at half time, absolutely drenched in sweat. He was knackered. But he done a really good job. I thought he done his best work last night. I don't know what you two thought, was a lot of off the ball work. Because I thought sometimes, Martin, when he was in possession, he was a little bit sloppy, I thought. And he give the ball away a few times. He's not
the greatest of football players. He's just a great striker and natural finisher.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He's a bit of a shithouse, right? And
Rich,
you're spot on there, because I remember in the first half, I think just before we got the goal or whatever, and we had to relieve a bit of pressure. Long ball's gone forward. Norwood's picked it up like on the, when the subs normally warm up, that kind of section on the left. And then he's charging it down. Otherwise, the defender's got it. He can play it back to keeper. Defender got in a bit of a muddle, and we get a throw-in from it. And then a couple of throw-ins later, we've got a goal. So it is good. It's good. He's that pressing player, and it does relieve the stress or the kind of pressure from Bon as well. Because he can't buy a goal at the moment. Bless him.
No, he can't. But like Norwood, a lot of his stuff off the ball is really pivotal to the way we play. But with Norwood's off the ball work, I guess what you're referring to there is the left midfield stint he occupied for large portions of the second half. A position we've not seen him play at all, I don't think, during any of the previous regimes, and required discipline. And I felt he had a lot of tactical discipline to sit in the position and not get caught, not wander, not drift, not get pulled out of it, and really lock it down and protect Matt Penny-Rich.
It's obviously they've done that. They've worked on that in training, and they, it's not just had that idea on the day of the game. But like you say, credit to Norwood. Disciplined. he did actually keep his discipline, didn't he? Because we could say one thing about him. That's probably one of his things that he doesn't sometimes. He was having a running battle, wasn't he, with Stuart, and he could have maybe got booked. But you've got to have in this league, Kally. You've got to have a bit of devilment in you. You've got to have a bit of nastiness, because I think we're too nice as a team.
I think we're so because we want to be in the Premier League and we see the expectations. And remember, we famously got into Europe on the fair play thing, right? So we've never been that kind of nasty club or whatever. But we don't have VAR and stuff like this. And I'm not advocating that we should injure players, but you can certainly kick someone, trip someone, or whatever. Get away with what you can get away with. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes we don't do that. Like, you know what we call like smart fouls. Last year we didn't commit enough smart fouls. We just conceded the goals, right? And then you look at in this league, that's where we should be thinking, okay, we need that kind of bit of grit and determination. It was great to see, Norwood running down at players. If I'm a defender and I got Norwood coming, you got a battle on your hands, right? I remember I think might have been actually in the first half. Ball's bounced in the halfway line. He's waiting for it to come down, and then it's gone over one player and he's kind of backed into another player and got him in a headlock or whatever. And he's like, ref, what? I didn't mean to do that. It's like, yeah, you did a DDT, mate, like he's Diamond Dallas Page or something. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But you need that, Kally. You need that. And it gets the crowd with you. If you see someone chasing the ball down, it's you're not going to get the ball. But putting players under pressure, then we win the ball back. You got to get the crowd involved, because too many times, like when we played that one up front, Bond was isolated. It's easy for the three centre halves or two centre halves, whatever formation they're playing. It's a long ball. You said it before, Martin. Press us. The ball goes long from the goalkeeper. They win the ball back. You have to have more string to your bow than just playing one way. And we did last night. And I think we will under McKenna. We will, won't we? Yeah. We won't just play one way.
Yeah, we seem to have answers to Wycombe's questions as well, like you were alluding to there. Do you think, Kally, that the time in the cold has been good for Norwood as well? A bit of here's how the cold side of the pillow feels. You could be on the way out of this great football club with fantastic changing rooms, and some of the best he's ever had in his career, no doubt. In terms of equipment,
just on Stephen Parry's comment there, Kally, we talked about shithousing. The best bit of shithousing last night was Connor Chaplin.
Chaplin, that was fucking brilliant. And he's like, oh, what ref? Bang, kick the ball. I don't know what you're on about.
Looks at the linesman, saw the flag went up, and then still ran after it and was like,
it's a bad touch. It's gone 30 yards by the corner flag.
Never mind. But do you feel, time in the cold for Norwood, and perhaps being as close as he was, if he still is, we don't know, to the exit door, could have been that kick up the backside, that rocket that he needed, Cal?
I think so, because when he signed, he was the big name signing, wasn't he? He was a marquee signing. A lot of clubs were after him. It was a good bit of business from us. But as you've said quite a lot on this show, Martin, like it's been his availability which has let him down. Forget his off-field antics, because you can almost park that to a side if you're scoring goals every week and you're doing your job. But if you're only paying a quarter of the season, then it's like, well, what is the benefit to the club? Now he went off Twitter. He's had his head down. Maybe there's been a word there and everything. Whether he's playing to stay and for a contract extension, because remember his contract is up in the summer, or whether he's putting himself in the shop window. There's something there that he's doing, but either way, it's going to benefit us. But my only fear is if it's the latter and he's on his way in January, then we need to make sure that we've got someone to replace him. Because with respect to Piggott, he hasn't found that kind of form yet. And if it is going to be Piggott, then we need him and Bond to start playing together as well. But I don't know, what's clear for me is McKenna and go. He'll be told, this is your squad. He'll obviously have some ideas about who he wants to bring in. But if the powers say, okay, we want to sell this player, there might be some protests or whatever, but ultimately we're like, look, this is your 18, 25 man squad or whatever. Yeah. And take it from there.
Yeah, and Rich, obviously, Kally's nailed it there with the availability, the best ability. People are on Twitter all saying, is he still on the transfer list? Why is he on the transfer list? Let's get him off the transfer list. Unpopular opinion as it might be, for me, he sits on that transfer list until January the 29th, and he's played all 5 of our League One fixtures in January, because I want him to prove to me now. I know how good his ability is. That's never been a question. It's the availability. So prove to me now you can be available for the next 5, having played the last 3. That's what I want before he comes off that transfer list.
And I think it might have given him a wake-up call to think, right, I think I've said it on here before, he won't play for a bigger club than Town.
Never.
You know, where does he really want to go? You know, he's 31 years of age now, Martin. He's not going to get a 3-year deal. If people think he's going to get a 3-year deal, he won't.
But that's also why he has to prove availability, because once your hamstrings start going, you hit your 30s.
And he might, and I know we're all disappointed on Saturday's games off, but it might benefit Norwood. You know, another game close to like yesterday, he looked knackered. You know, he looked knackered. He needs to be fitter. He needs to look after himself because
he did 80 minutes, didn't he?
I think
just under maybe.
Yeah, I think 72.
£5, Matt Whitten. Thank you very much. Norwood will be key for the playoff push, in his opinion.
Not if he's not here.
Or not fit.
If he's not here, well, look, whether he's because he's transferred to another club or he's injured. If Norwood's not here, this is the thing. We're going back to last season all of a sudden, where we're saying we need this player back. That one player, it was KVY and Downs last year. They were going to turn our season around. We've got a squad of players. We need to start utilising them. And I think that's where McKenna really will come into like his own. Is he will get the best out of the players. He's a good coach. He's not just a manager. He's a coach.
You
so
also have to
coach some of these players.
Appreciate the transfer model now. He's 31. He's not going to have a lot of resale value past this window. Being close to his contract being up and playing well. Because sign a new 3-year deal, and the end of the 3-year deal, his resale value will be next to nothing, if not nothing. So, do you cash in on him? Because as a part of the whole analytical recruitment model, his numbers are only going to go down as he increases by age and decreases in ability, which naturally happens to all players. Do you keep him around for this? Because he's hardly the senior pro.
Interesting one, Martin, with all our strikers. When you think Macaulay Bond's not our player. You know, James Norwood's on the transfer list. Caden Jackson, he's in the last year of his contract. And then we've got Joe Piggott, who's hardly played a minute of football. So they've all got question marks against them. You know, every single one of them. And I agree in the comments there. Look, Mike D, I said we to play this pressing game that we want to be playing, we have to be fitter. We have to get fitter. And we were promised under Cook we'd run more. And we haven't. So going forward, I know it's hard now. I know it's hard. I'm not saying they're not fit, Kally, but I think for the
it's not where we thought it would be.
You need to be fitter.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree on that part. Just on the Norwood thing though, just picking that up again, in terms of resale value, we got him on a free. So if he goes at the end of the season for free, we haven't made a loss. What's he worth now, really? You know, would you get high 5 figures, low 6 figures? You know, I'd be surprised. Player in his, of his age, last couple of months of a contract, you get more than 100 grand from. You won't get more. It'd be that Ollie Hawkins nominal fee kind of shit.
I don't know. If you can get 50,
I don't think he'll go. I don't think he'll go between now and the end of the season. Honestly, I don't.
No, I don't. I think he'll be playing for a deal here.
I just don't think he'll sign on. I think he will. Either in January or end of the season, Norwood will leave Ipswich.
You think he'll go?
Maybe
even if we stay in League One, because it's undeniable. Like if we go up to Championship, you'd be like, well, fine. You're probably not ready for Championship level, or because of the availability side, right? You can still score goals, but he's injured. But even at League One, if we didn't go up, if he doesn't find a move in January, I think he'll just see his contract out and he'll go. There'll be quite a few going in the summer, I would imagine.
I suppose the other side of it, Rich, is or Kally, is to going in January. If the rumours are to be believed and he's on the whack he's on, are there many clubs that can
probably not
financially meet that? And would you then suffer? Say to yourself, well, I'll get rid of 6 months' money.
Yeah, I think with COVID around, Martin, at the minute, I don't think there'll be a lot of movement at all in January. No. I think teams will be looking to keep hold of their players because no one knows what's going to happen with the season, and they want as many players available. Well, we could say they want as many players available. A lot of teams, it doesn't seem to sort of bother them, does it? Because they sort of
Gillingham.
But we'll come on to that. But I don't think Norwood will leave before the summer, and I'll probably think he'll sign a contract. I think he'll probably sign for another season.
But the thing is like, there's clearly an issue there that's gone on, right?
Oh yeah.
He's come out and publicly backed Paul Cook, said it wasn't Cook or whatever. So if you draw your own conclusions, you think, okay, there was an issue elsewhere. Now the elsewhere are still at the club. He's he's had 3 good years here on whatever his salary is, earned something good money. He could still go and play at League One, League Two. You know, they're on about 3-4 grand a week on average in sort of mid.
He'd get a good
League
move,
One
Kally.
teams.
He'd get a move. There'd be like a Portsmouth or an Oxford or someone. They've been rumoured. Someone would snap him up.
Even you got your teams like North, where he'd like to, where he's from, isn't? Well, not from, but he settled his roots down, didn't he? Up Liverpool, Tranmere. So there's I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what January brings. We'll see what the end of the season. I don't think he'll be here beyond the end of the season. Right? I'll be surprised if he's here at the end of January. I'll be very surprised if he's here at the end of June.
The thing is, you say that, Rich. It really depends on how many games you can play.
Sorry, Matt Stannard's comment. Colchester.
Well, no, I wouldn't necessarily say that far down the tree, but however many games he can play between now and the summer will dictate what sort of club are in for him. Because I can't see a top 6 side being interested in a player that can't complete more than 30 games a year.
But he wasn't injured until he come to town.
Well, this is the other thing.
He's older. He's older.
Yeah,
So
so was David McGoldrick, and he went to Sheffield Wednesday and played 2 years, straight, no injuries at all.
£20 for Duncan Pharaoh. Big Dunk. We love you. We're nothing but Duncan.
It is one of those where you just don't know. So people might take a punt on him. He's a free transfer. You can pay the wages that you weren't going to pay. That you can pay.
But McKenna might want his own people in Kally. It's time to have a look to see what he's got. He might think James Norwood's doing all right now, but I might want a younger version of Norwood.
Absolutely. Well, we've got Ipswich Town's biggest fan, the super fan. He's there home and away every single week. Oh, wait, no, he would be, but he's got to work. Yeah. Fisherman.
All right, that's sick now. Oh, I got a sore throat. I can't.
I'm all right. Thank you, Treacle. Yeah. I haven't got to go every game because I go every game, so don't worry.
I'm telling you now, if I didn't work, I would.
Wait, sorry. This is just going to be brilliant. Sorry, Mike. I have to stop you because Martin, there's a super chat. You've got to interrupt Mike.
Is. £20, Sarah Davies. Thanks for the support.
Sorry, a chance to interrupt Mike. Sorry, I took it both hands.
Oh, thank you, Sarah.
We love you.
If anyone else wants to put as many super chats as they can, when Mike's on in the next 5 minutes,
far away. We'll mute his microphone. But Sarah, do not let those Muppets on Twitter get to you. All right, they're nothing. No. Do not let them get to you. But well, Mike, over to you again.
Yeah, no, I messaged Sarah earlier. Bless her, lovely lady. Yeah, look, if I could go to every game, I would. If it weren't for my work, I'd be at every home game because of my brother. But you boys know that. So, but yeah, I went to the game last night. Shirt.
Mike, I like your brother's shirt, the orange one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, bit old school, wasn't it?
Like it.
Yeah, he.
Which orange one? 97 one.
No, it's the 81 third kit.
No, it wasn't in my dad's nutsack then.
Fuck's sake.
Sorry.
There's just no need, Cal.
Sorry, I forgot.
What you could have said was Mike's brother has obviously got a lot more fashion sense than Mike.
Well, who hasn't got more fashion sense than Mike?
I've seen the stuff Mike wears.
You should see my brother's wardrobe, mate. He's got a
hang on, Martin. That's a bit Louis Vuitton. Mike, I would not be putting up with that from Martin. I've seen his clobber that he wears. Do not put up with that.
Last time I bought an outfit was the New Year's Eve party for the Millennium. It was.
Oh, dear.
Go on. I'm sorry. Mike, James Norwood, a player that you absolutely love and adore. You must love hearing us wax lyrical about him. £5 from Mike D. Sorry, Mike. Sorry.
Oh, no,
£5.
We should do this every show.
Bessie, we've got £2. We've got £1. They're all coming in now, Mike. Look at this.
Right. Come on, keep going.
Just say thank you, Martin. Just say thank you. Yeah?
Thank you very much. Yeah, to all these wonderful people that clearly are like me, don't want to hear you speak. James, you must love hearing me say how good Norwood is. You must love it.
Well, after last week, yeah. That was it. When you I'm not going to celebrate his goal.
Still
Yeah,
don't.
that was yeah. Look,
I may have celebrated
I've been saying it, but I've been saying it. Leando's been saying it.
Oh, he's coming.
You know, like I said, these it is
£1 from Lewis Robertson gets in.
Yeah, you know, he's 100%. Fit Norwood is probably our best. Well, he's our best striker. No two ways about it. Bond for me is struggling. It's just not. He's getting a bit of. He's not getting the rub of the greens. Things ain't going right. A worldly save or a lucky save by the keeper last night. An offside. I've seen it back. I don't think he was offside. I mean, we had Lino down by the tunnel, right up and down that. It couldn't even keep up with the game, mate.
Well, you leave that Lino alone. He's one of the very few. He's from Bury as well. South Asian guy representing. Third time.
No. I don't care what colour he is or where he's from. I couldn't care. He to lose a bit of weight and run up back touchline and keep up with play. It's not.
We've never lost a league game when he's a Lino.
Was that his first one?
No, it was his third one. It was his third one. It was his third one of the season.
Fair enough.
But he was struggling to keep up with play. That was so funny. The fans were getting on his case, something bad. Look, he's doing a job. In the days, it's what it is, isn't it? But
it is, yeah.
Yeah. The only one I weren't impressed with last night who came on was Carroll.
99p was thinking from the cruncher.
Oi, that's his pocket money from his missus. What are you on about?
Right.
He's been a little bit more time precious recently, as old Rich. I think he's been keeping the missus sweet for the pocket money, evidently.
What?
Yes.
Not really.
Yeah, I can't go to Sir Ralph tomorrow. I've got to go straight to the game.
Nothing to do with missus. She don't go to the games, does she?
What time you turned up? I don't know. We'll keep that fully after.
I'll tell you what, though.
Kally Bisler. Sorry, mate. £5 from the king. Look at that. Look. I know.
Just say thank you. Just say thank you.
If you looked at your analytics, you'd probably see that you get the most super chats when Mike's on.
£1.79.
That's not necessarily because they agree with the content.
I'm gonna be your PR guy from now on. I'm telling you.
Oh, I'm going to start saving some of these as they come in, just so when you get the full flow, I can go. It doesn't
Don't face me, mate. I got social media. I don't have to talk to you. You know, I don't have to.
No, £2 from Lewis Robinson. Look at this, beautiful stuff. Let's bring Felix in and see if Felix has that Midas touch. Felix, are you?
I still don't know if Mike was happy with the result or not.
Can you hear me all right?
We can, Felix. Are you still as happy as you were this time? Yes. Well, this time yesterday,
yes.
roughly.
Very, very much so. I don't think I've ever seen us have that much passion in the 7 or so years I've supported Ipswich. McKenna has actually.
You called it.
But what?
Best day of your footballing life, you called it yesterday?
Probably. I've been to many depressing days.
If he's only been supporting for 7 years, he's probably right.
I've seen Norwich, Ipswich second leg playoffs. I've seen us get relegated and all that shit.
Yeah.
But we actually showed some passion today, and yesterday it was weird to see that Wolfenden actually knows how to defend the football.
Unbelievable, so yeah. I've always been a big fan of his, but how good was he yesterday, Felix? He was immense.
He was definitely good. It was surprising to see him actually. Like, McKee works under McKenna. McKenna knows how to improve him or whatever. But he's definitely a whole lot better than he was under Paul Lambert.
£1.99 super sticker from Heidi. Thank you very much, Felix.
I'm now being interrupted.
You've got the fisherman in training Midas touch coming into you. Here we go. Thank you ever so much, Heidi. We appreciate that. Happy New Year to you. But what? Because it is quite a surprising. Is it a surprising thing, Rich, to see Wolfenden come in and really resurrect and grab hold of it the way he has? You know, Cookie's the man that Cookie said was available to go, wasn't good enough.
Yeah, well, look, under Lambert, he came in, he had that line at Swindon, and then he came in. Lambert said he was laid back, didn't he? And he said sometimes he needs a rocket. And then sort of, he he wasn't playing well. So if you don't play well, you go out of the team. And obviously, if Cook had stayed, he'd have probably left in the summer. But a new manager's come in now, Martin, and for everybody, it's a clean slate. And if you have that chance to come into the team, you need to grab it and take it. And he did. Look, it's one game. He played well against Sunderland.
No,
as
it's
well.
2 games.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Sunderland as well. Like Sunderland, he did well.
He still needs to be doing 6. He needs to get 7 out of 10 every week. He's not going to have an outstanding game like he did last night every week, but he needs to be consistent. And as a team, we need to be consistent. But if he knows that the manager has belief in him, and he's playing in a system that obviously suits him, which Mike did say, 3 at the back, quite a long time ago. You said that, didn't you? So it suits him. He's good at carrying the ball out. He looks comfortable, doesn't he? When he's got the ball at his feet. He had a couple of runs there in the first half. So look,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
But I thought he done well as well, Mike, because he knew what you're getting when you're playing Wycombe. You're getting a lot of high balls. It's physical, and he kept his concentration for the whole.
That was it.
Minutes.
That's exactly it. Like you said, he has those little lapses, like the first game against Morecambe or whatever. He did all right. He just made the mistake. The Burton game, did all right, made a little mistake. It's the concentration, but the formation suits our squad. Not just those 11, it suits those squad. The 3-5-2 suits our thing. Now we've got a head coach that he said did he say in his first press conference he's not going to be, committing to one formation. But then again, Cook said there'll be 2 formations as well. There'd be one for home, one for away.
I think he said he would adapt to whatever team he's playing, which is the thing I like about McKenna compared to the last 3 or 4 managers we've had. He adapts to the team that he's playing. Like instead of Mick or Paul Cook, he doesn't stick to one plan. He develops it as we sort of go along. We'll still stick with the same thing, with minor changes to beat the opposition that we're facing. Which
to his credit, Mike, he did yesterday, because we started with the 3-5-2, but with Norwood moving to the left side, it was almost a 4-5-1 in that second period for last portion.
Yeah. How many times when since Cook took over, or even Lambert for that matter, there was a lot of Cook was the worst for it. He was a stickler for his formation. He wouldn't budge. And teams came and played against us, whether at home or away.
£5, Rob Smith. Happy New Year to TT team and everyone for great.
Did you save that one, or did that just?
No, it just
came up.
He saved it. It was obvious. I knew it was coming. It's a bit predictable now. It's a bit like his excuses for not going to games now, isn't it? A bit predictable.
Wait, you can't talk about excuses not going to games. What's that saying? Pot kettle black.
Hey, I'm telling you now. If I didn't work, I would be going.
We know.
And there's also another famous quote, which is, "If my nan had wheels, what would she be?"
If my nan had wheels, she'd be a bike.
I'm messing with you, Mike.
But it's true though, as Felix was saying about us being adaptable, or McKenna was saying,
predictable under Cook, though, weren't we?
Oh, too predictable. Yeah, it was 4-2-3 and hell or high water.
Now that Doncaster game sort of showed every team, they play that, because Doncaster pressed us so much, and we put 6 past them. So then everyone went, let's just not press them, let's just sit back. They do that, we lose. We don't win enough.
Well, look at Cook's wins and Cook's good performances, like Portsmouth, like Wycombe away and stuff like that. It's against teams that were going to, kind of press us and play football. At League One, when you got the lump it long and battle in the air, we apart from yesterday, I can't remember this season where we've actually won the second ball so many times.
Absolutely, and obviously, if Paul Cook, as you mentioned him, Mike said, Toto Nsiala, best defender in the league. What after last night? What's Luke Wolfen doing? Best in the country?
Look, Nsiala's got a free. He's got another.
£1 super chat from the Cruncher. Get in.
Stop! Oh, please stop! It's straining.
I went straight to the chat. Like, who put a super chat?
Do you know what I mean? It was like, fucking how predictable is this?
I'm waiting for you to do a super chat so you can shut yourself up.
Sorry?
He ain't going to be able to do
the amount of work he does, he should be able to do it. Come on, Mike. Sorry, darling. Carry on.
It's all right. It's all right. I can take
Carry
it.
on.
I'm big. And
I'll
I'm
ask you
a big
about
man.
Sam Morsey as well in a minute. So just.
Are you
just-
sure? Are you sure you're going to
Yes.
ask us that? But Enciano's got a free run, isn't he? At the moment, he started the game. You know, he's not been great. I have hammered him, and rightly so, to be brutally honest. I think there's times he's better. He can be a lot better than what he's shown, but for me, he's still a League Two defender at most at the moment. And will he get ahead of Wolford?
£3, Stephen Davis. Thank you very much, Mr. Davis. We appreciate that. Another player, Kally, Sam Morsey. He was
Fucking love him, Don. He's from the Black Country, our kid. He grew up on fucking orange chips, mate. That's how you play midfield.
What the fuck are orange chips?
Huh?
Orange chips.
You don't have you guys are missing out down in you're cut up. Get out of the A14, come up the M6, and there's a whole nother world. I promise you.
All right. 99p from Litton Dunn. Thank you very much, Litton Dunn. We appreciate it. I'm gonna save that for you, Mike.
I thought Sam, he's there what we thought he was going to be when he signed. And the thing with Sam is he does kind of dictate the tempo of how we're going to play. If he plays a bit bad, the rest of the team falls off. When he carries the game to the players, the rest of the team are carrying it as well. Again, he's on the front foot. He's breaking forward. That's a couple of assists. Well, I don't think Norwood's goal counts an assist, does it? Because the keeper parried it into him actually. But even right at the end when he could have squared it to Piggott or played it to Chappers, he's picked that ball up. The Egyptian Messi or the Black Country Messi, depending on how you want to call it, he's run through their defence and almost one of the assists of the season. But he's got more assists now, I think, than Downs and Dazelle did last season.
Yeah,
and you know how much of a fan I was.
Well, ain't hard, is it? Let's be honest. I had more assists than Downs and Dazelle.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, because they had some assists. Okay, there were actually some assists there. It wasn't zero.
They did have some. Yeah.
No, they didn't. Not in league. Not one league game. They had no assists.
Dazelle did 100%.
Rubbish.
About
100%.
Not having it.
Talk about Morsey then, Mike. How did you rate Morsey yesterday? Because he played in a different position to normal. He didn't play as a shielder. He played as the box-to-box midfielder.
I think he should have shot when he went on his little messy run. I think he should have had a go.
Oh, you finished already?
I saw.
Yeah, because he knows what's coming. He knows what's coming.
It's predictable. It's like
he knows what's coming.
I'm not gonna do it until you're in full flow. I'm gonna save it. I've started.
Would you say that's one of Sam's best performances, Mike?
Nothing better.
When did you see? When?
Doncaster game. Why
was he better then? Because it was his first league game. What do you mean because he was? What kind of answer question is that? You're meant to be a fisherman. Take the fucking bait.
Because I know you are. Because you said you are. So what am I then? What sort of reply was that, Mike? Because I said so.
Just gonna keep it short and sweet.
Sweet about you, Mike.
All right. Have a rest. Crunch. You've not been too good on Morsey recently. You've hammered them a little bit. So how good was it to see it? Well, how surprised were you? I guess is the right question.
I wouldn't say I've hammered him. I wouldn't say he's got more to give, and he showed last night.
Sorry. Has someone changed the names? Or was that Richard?
Oh, no.
Did you change your name yourself?
I know. You have hammered him. Don't sit there and hide behind your shirt, mate. Yeah. You've hammered him.
It's obviously that shirt. It's blinding his judgment, isn't it?
I know. I can't see nothing.
I'm on about the fact that under where it should say Cruncher, it says Norwood's biggest fan.
He put that. Nothing to do with me.
Just noticed.
Nothing to do with me. That
ever since you had that picture, I don't know what happened. What conversation you had?
Well, down to me then. Yeah. Resurrection of James Norwood.
No.
Look, Morsey. I thought that was his best game last night because we played against a better team, Kally. When we played Doncaster, they were bang average. Whereas last night, Wycombe. Look, I know a lot of people don't like the style of Wycombe and they give them a lot of stick, but you have to give them credit,
Friends.
They're up there, aren't they? But I thought if he could finish, have a word with Sam about his shooting. Have a word about his shooting, Kally.
No, do you know what? We had a conversation before. I says, when you score at Putman Road, you need to celebrate where I'm sitting. And obviously I wasn't there yesterday. So in his mind, he was thinking, I can't celebrate. What's the point? Let me
What I
square
would
his
say,
chappers.
Callie, is tell him if you're going to go on a Lionel Messi type run, fucking have a shot at the end of it, son. You at least deserve it. Christ,
I
you beat
thought
the whole
that
Wycombe team.
I thought that was perfect.
It
And then
was.
he laid
If
it
you're
off for
going to miss
chappers.
anyway, you at least deserve to have the opportunity for yourself. You've taken about 4 players out
Yeah,
of the
but 9
game.
times out of 10, Chaplin buries that.
Yeah, that's true.
How did he miss?
Just quickly, lads, please don't interrupt because it's a really good one. Yeah,
I'm gonna have
if
to,
we're
you
going
know
to
that.
sign if we're going to sign any player,
£5 super chat from Anthony Steele. Happy New Year.
You've been keeping that. You've been keeping it.
He just
About 5 minutes ago.
I had to. I absolutely had to.
You know.
The people have paid their hard-earned money.
That's
Fisherman,
it.
he'll be back. He'll be back. We've had him flip-flop flouts before.
give him 5 minutes.
Yeah. I've got
He's
a
getting on his
WhatsApp
phone
now.
now. He's like Matt
He's
Stanley
got
said,
one and say, "Oh, you."
he's waiting to get a super chat to interrupt me.
He'll
Mike's
be
not great with technology with them fat fingers, is he, Kally? I don't
Well,
think.
just keep him off Twitter, Rich. Otherwise, he might be announcing another
Someone's
departure.
echoing.
We'll bring in Leander, a James Norwood fan.
So, poor old fisherman. I tell you what, mate, he's WhatsApped you for some royalties, isn't he? He wants half.
He's on me.
Yeah.
He's on me. I've got him in the WhatsApp group. So as you're telling, he's telling me to fuck off. As you're
Mike
telling
D,
me,
Mike D said, Lee, in the chat there, the Gub's going to be rocking up to Portman Road in the gold Ferrari. With all these super chats.
Nah, of course he's not. Of course
right,
he's not.
Lee, James Norwood. How good is it for you? Must be good.
Well, what can I say? What I've not already said before. You know, he's our best striker, and I agree with the fisherman. He is our best striker. You know, and you get him and Bon up front with Piggott as backup. We're a handful for anybody, aren't we? We wanted 2 up front. We've got 2 up front. If we allow Norwood to leave, then how are we going to replace him? Honestly, in his current form and what he's like, you're going to have to pay a 7-figure sum to replace him in the January transfer window. We've all been here before for the last 3 years with strikers trying to get players in the transfer window in January. There's nobody about. If you're going to get people on a free, for example, you're getting people that nobody wants. Otherwise, we've got to pay big bucks for them, and you pay more in January. We need to keep Norwood, and we need to give him another year's contract.
But maybe you hope that Bond picks up his form again. You have got Piggott, maybe, who could find something. And you just find, maybe we actually find a lower league gem. There's that really good League 2 player that's scored a lot of goals, played for Leyton Orient. What's his name? Aaron something. Irish Messi, they called him. Aaron Drinan, that's it.
Seriously though, when whichever team you are, whether you're Wycombe or anybody.
Hang on, Lee. I was watching an old show back, Martin, and I think, did you have a bet with someone that Drinan would? It was George Nunn. Drinan wouldn't get 10 goals. I was watching the other day.
I've got to pay him money. I know. Fuck's sake. It's unbelievable.
Oh dear. Well,
unbelievable.
Well, to be fair, Mike Brown's probably given you enough for that. But anyway, that's another story. But just on Norwood and Bon, right? If you're centre backs and you're turning up on a Saturday and you've got to play against them 2 shithouses, you're not going to be happy, are you? And you know, you keep them occupied. You've got every chance in the world, haven't you, to play? And that's the thing. It doesn't matter if Bond's scoring or Norwood scores. When you're a partnership, it doesn't matter. You can see how Bond and Norwood are starting to work together. And you've got there was a one time in the first half where Bond didn't make a run. I think it was the one where Norwood went through and had a tame shot, and I think he wanted Bun. He wanted Bon to run across him so he could slip it in, and he didn't. And Norwood's giving him a bloody mouthful. And you think, it's all in good spirit, or all in good stuff. But when Norwood scored, you've got Bond standing there, hugging him, giving him this. And, you've got to, well, maybe there's too much water under the bridge now. Maybe, the powers that be will allow him to leave. He's still on the transfer list, as far as I understand. But for me, it will be a bad day if he goes at this stage of the season. Maybe crunch is right, maybe at the end of the season.
Yeah,
but he's showing over.
Pardon? That'd be a bad move to get rid of him in January.
Yeah, but
he's going to go. If he's going to go, Lee, he'd go to a rival.
Yeah, absolutely. But what happens if he wants to go? What happens if maybe he's proven a point now where he's saying to the haters, okay, or the people that went against him, you know, why would he play for those people? You know, why would Toto the other week? Why would he play? Why would he want to play against, you know, for fans that are giving him a boost like that? And I think that's that's another subject. But to be fair, he might have made his mind up. He's thinking, do you know what? I want to go. I want to go where I'm loved. His best time was at Tranmere, where they loved him. Everybody loved him. If anybody can tell me a striker in the history of the game where they've scored 20, 30 goals a season, where they've not been loved at a club, then I'll be glad to hear it, because that doesn't happen that way. So, you know, it's sort of water under the bridge that way. So, I mean, that's my point on Norwood. But can I just go back to a point? I'm doing a bit of a Colin here, but when I got to the ground last night, first of all, I was late because the car park was bloody full and they don't have the spiral one open. I normally park at the Wolsey Theatre on the open one there and then walk down. But I had to go park up at Christchurch Park and walk all the way back down. So I got in the ground about 15 minutes before kick-off, 15 minutes. And I must say, when I walked through, the atmosphere in the Sir Bobby Robson lower, or at the bottom there, was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. The best, the loudest I've heard it. Flares going off. There was smoke. It was absolutely fantastic. And that was carried on throughout the whole ground for the whole game. And that was, I think it was the moment for me, that game was, it's now, is the beginning. I know we talked about it in the summer and we had Cook and I've backed Cook. But I think with McKenna now, we're on different gravy. Game Change have got who they want in, or Ashton's got who he wants in. And I think we're on a different path now. And I think you'd feel that in the crowd. And those last, I think from about the 89th minute to the end of the added time, I have not heard Portman Road sound like that for many, many a year. It was almost breathtaking, those last few minutes. It was absolutely amazing. It sounded like the whole ground. And that for me is, you know, hopefully we can carry that forward. And of course, wins make the fans happy and things like that. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's 4 things that will make a successful club: the owners and directors, the manager, the players and the fans. If all 4 of those work together and they're all interconnected and they're all in harmony, then this club will always go forward. But as soon as there's a break, wherever it is, then that makes it harder for the club. So hopefully this will be we'll continue down the road of being successful. I think McKenna, when he talks after the game, he's a coach. He's not a football manager. He is a coach, and he talks after the game and he talks with passion about what he believes in the game. And I know you mentioned it earlier. You know, he's not an old style manager now. He's not been around the block like Cook, you know, and all the others that we've had in, you know, Lambert. He will just say it as it is, because there's almost a naivety about him in terms of what he wants to talk about. But that's his passion, his coaching, and that comes out in his interview, and that can only be great for the club. Can only be great.
Yeah, Rich, obviously the only person other than yourself, Lee, who was there last night. Rich, want to speak about what Lee was talking in regards to the end of the atmosphere towards the end of the game?
I thought it was good, Lee, that McKenna mentioned that in his post-match, didn't he, about the fans? Yeah. You know, if you've got to have that, you have to have that connection. You know, because I totally agree. We all remember when Mick was here and how divided it was and how horrible it was when we went to the ground. You know, we get in a manager when we go and play our rivals away, telling us to F off. You know, you cannot have that. You've all got to be pulling in the right direction. It's just a shame that Chaplin goal didn't go in, Lee, because the atmosphere was great, wasn't it? But I just wanted it to go in. But
that would have been, I'll tell you, the noise, if that would have gone in, would have been the same as the playoff semis when we equalised against Norwich. My boy still, you know, listening to the guy who was on earlier, you know, 7 years an Ipswich fan, similar age to my boy going to watch games.
Really?
He still talks about that. He still talks about that semi-final, that the atmosphere at Portman Road that day, and and that was what it reminded me of at the end of the game. And had that gone in, well, that would have been, I don't know what would have happened. That would have been the biggest roar for a very, very long time.
The reality is, Lee, look, it was good last night. We've got a win. It's still, when you look at that league table, and we're still 10 points behind Wycombe, and we've only won 8 games in 24 this season. With the squad of players we've got, that's nowhere near good enough, because everything else, like you said, everything else is there. The crowd is there. Look, we've got 26,000, you know. If we can be successful, it can take off.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to lose game. I mean, let's if we're not going to go unbeaten to the end of the season. I think we have to be realistic about this. Possibly,
what do you mean we're not going to go unbeaten?
But you know, the mathematics tell you that's unlikely. But we could still have a good run and get 47. I think the team at the top of the table at the moment, halfway, has got 40. Is it 47? Something like that. Yeah. Do you know what? If we get 40, if we get 47 points in our second half of the season,
no, we
probably won't even scrape 6. So it's got to be more than that, and that's the problem.
But then looking at the Statman's tweet today, I think we've made the playoffs 3 times in our with a fewer points total at this point of the season.
It's not going to happen this year. Well, there's a big divide. There's a big all the teams they're all in 40 points already, aren't they? And some of them they're not even halfway.
Well,
but we're 11th. We're 11th, and you've got the 10 teams above. 7 of those have got to have really poor form for us to leapfrog everybody. And I've said this before, there'll be teams above us that will probably think to themselves, we're going to run now and we're going to make the playoffs. And they're 4, 5, 6 points ahead of us. So we're going to have to go on some sort of almighty run to make the playoffs this season. But if it's progression and with fun on the way, and you know the team plays how it did last night, and we can see the tactical changes and how things are. But let's keep our feet on the ground here. Wycombe, Ainsworth would not have had a clue what he was going to be facing last night. So let's all keep our feet on the ground one game.
He said that in the week, Ainsworth, when he was preparing them, that he didn't know.
Yeah.
But even when Stevie Wonder could see what we were going to set up, we still beat him 4-1. So, you know, these were fixtures that I'd never feared the Wycombe fixture. I didn't think, even the Sunderland game, I thought we'd win that. We obviously drew, but I thought we'd at least win at home. Both times we played Sunderland, we've been better than them, right? Both times.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
They're now top of the league because they're about to win 5-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. You know, the league is balmy. Like, I know what you're saying, Lee, that it's going to have a lot of results our way, but it could happen, and as long as it's mathematically possible, I think McKenna's going to be telling everyone, and all the players will be on there like, look, we need to win, we need to win every game. Let's go, top 6, top 2 still technically possible.
£5 from David. Come back, the fisherman. Yes, Mike, come back. We miss you. I'm sorry, Mike. I really am sorry.
Did you take him out?
David,
Did you take him out?
No, he left.
No,
he left. Diva. Listen, more diva moves than Mariah Carey. Do you know what I mean? That's his new name, Mike Carey.
Well, look, Mike, I'm sorry. It wasn't anything personal. I really am sorry. But,
Mike, I thought it was funny. Sorry.
Me too. Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
The people do what the people want to do. It's
That's the
platform.
comment. That is the comment there. That safety guy's comment.
We have held our own against most of the top clubs, just getting the consistency, which hopefully McKenna will bring.
This is when you look at these next games. I know the Lincoln game's been cancelled, but you've got Gillingham in there, you've got Accrington in there, you've got AFC Wimbledon, you've got Bolton. These are the teams we need to be beating, but we said that at the start of the season. And look what happened.
We haven't got the only hard fixture, if you look in terms of teams above us, if I'm correct, this month, is Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah,
they've just lost 5-0. So
I think if we win 8 of the next 10, then it's on.
We've
got to win it.
Of the year. What's your 2021 prediction for Ipswich Town Football Club?
What? Where we'll finish, or
whatever? Could be anything.
Okay. So let's talk about For me,
What do you mean 2021, 22 season or
2022, sorry.
2021?
2022
'Cause I was gonna say-
prediction, sorry.
Like,
Sorry.
They won't move above 11th is my prediction then.
Well fucking done. Sorry. Sorry.
For 2022, everybody, and Felix, who's not seen us, has only been watching for 7 years. The good times, I've said this before, but the good times are coming. Whatever happens, we are a different gravy now. I think McKenna, with time, is going to we'll get things right. Oh, Mike, how's it going, mate?
He's fucking joined.
He's back.
He's back.
He had to go clean the lake quickly, didn't he?
He just had a run. Oh, he's gone again.
Oh, it's gone again.
Yeah, his alarm's gone off.
That wasn't me.
Lee, I get what you're saying there, and that's a good point about the good times are gonna come, and like I said, I started following Town in '97. So my only real good time is the playoff, and then the first year in the Premier League and a bit of Europe, right? But you said it earlier, the four things, and one of those four things being the fans. Our fan base gets split on every fucking thing. Like there would be wars over whether the toilet paper goes up or under in our fan base.
It's the same everywhere, Cal, isn't it? I mean,
no, it's
have you
not.
seen what's been happening? It is. If you can name your if you can go on Twitter or Twitter, as Mike puts it.
There's fans.
Fan base.
There's always going to be splits, but not to the point that it's so extreme with us.
I'm just going to leave my hands here because
you have half.
People at home don't think I'm taking him out as a joke. I'm going to leave my hands.
He's doing it himself.
In and out.
He is.
Do you think it's the hokey pokey?
I think he does. I'll give you a prediction, you guys. In the year 2022, we're going to lose 15 games or less. There you go.
The whole calendar year.
The whole year.
So that includes half a season in the Championship.
From the 1st of January to the 31st of December next year, we're only going to lose 15 games or less. There you go. There's a prediction enough.
Well, that's a bit high. I mean, at least less than 10. If we're going to go up.
That's all right. I think that's all right. You lose
15.
two or three more. We'll go on a bumpy start when we get promoted to the Championship next season.
15
So that's where the losses will come in, and then we'll turn the corner in January.
I was going to say 12 or less.
I'd say 10.
Less than 10.
10. Let's go less than 10. Let's go less than 10 or less.
But then, as Mike D has pointed out, I did say Harper would be Player of the Year. I just didn't state what year. I just didn't say what fucking year.
No, he didn't mean to
club?
capitalise that. You meant to say Potty.
Potty, yeah. If Harper was playing, you'd all see the genius that is Raheem Harper. Believe me.
He's fucking
right?
brilliant. He's brilliant. Watch McKenna get the best out of him. Are you staying or are you okey pokeying?
Are you going to stay or are you going to go?
Well, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm going to start. I'm just having problems with my bloody sound.
Of course you are. Welcome back, though. We've missed you.
We've missed you.
You're on mute, mate.
We've missed you. Oh, by the way, Lee, to answer your question from earlier, that's
you're
a StreamYard issue. Not
Oh, is it? Oh, right. Yeah. So I got my earphones in.
There ain't much
Mike,
I can do.
Mike, say something.
Hello?
No, you're on mute, mate. I can't hear you.
I can hear it.
Fuck off, Rich.
Fuck off, Rich.
Oh, Rich. Come
the whole
on.
Zoom thing, isn't it? It's like the whole Zoom thing, When you
That's
go.
what happens when you wear yellow. That's what happens.
Right, Lee.
Wait, did I hear that there were some Norwich fans at the game yesterday?
Yeah, they were on
Yeah, Melts.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Well, at least they're seeing a win in East Anglia.
Just as I go, can I say one thing? And I was getting battered. I've been in some disagreements with some Norwich fans on Twitter, and all this sort of stuff, as I normally do, and get involved. But can I just say that they do not realise what's coming. They do not realise what's happening to our club. They're sitting there, bottom of the Premier League, giving it, but we're in the Premier League. 2 years' time. Forget your 2022 predictions. In 2 years' time, we'll be looking down on them. In 2 seasons' time, we will be looking down on them and they'll be looking up at us. Without doubt, that's going to happen. And everybody, Felix, all over, we'll all be celebrating. They are finished. The roles are going to change. Football goes in cycles, and our time is coming. That's what's going to happen.
Lee, what a way to win 2021. Thank you very much for coming on.
Cheers, guys.
I like that.
See you later.
Happy New Year. Look after yourself.
Happy New Year, bro.
Absolutely love that from Lee. I didn't know Norwich fans were there, but Felix, by the way, he lost connection and then he didn't come back. So Felix, hope you're okay. Happy New Year to you. But yeah, Norwich fans, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, finally they saw a decent football.
But how desperate have you got to be? Like, I'd never go to a Norwich game. Like, unless
did you-
Ipswich are playing, I ain't going. No,
Which one of those
I ain't
top
giving them
nine
my
City
money.
guys was at that West Brom game on a Friday night when we win the championship? Do you remember?
That was Chris Reeve, wasn't it?
Chris Reeve, right?
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a bellend.
That's because
Wow.
Houlihan was playing for West Brom, wasn't it? That was why.
Was it? Christ, I forgot he was there.
I
Lost the
got
link
no.
now.
I got no problem with people going to see like other games or whatever. Like I've seen Stockport play a few times this season. Arjun Reke plays on loan from Villa. I've seen a few of the Cov games. Fine, but I'm not going to go sit in my rival's ground when it's nothing to do with Ipswich. And if I am, nah.
You
can't do
couldn't
it.
pay me money to go to Carrot Road.
Nah,
I
man.
fucking hate that place.
It's
And
a
that
shit
stupid
stadium.
goal
Shit
music.
stadium. I'm not just saying it because they're the rivals, right?
Fucking
But it is
tossers.
legit. It is legit
We've
the
heard
shittest
that plenty
stadium
of
I've been
times at
to.
their ground, Martin. That's
Oh,
the
I've
fucking
still got
point.
the vision of Bradley Johnson smashing it in from fucking 8 yards past
No, I've
bar.
got the one.
Barrow Stadium was better than fucking Carrot Road.
Mate, cowsheds are better than Carrot Road, believe me. But they can't bully. Fuck off! You're not bullied.
I
Fuck
love
off with the
making you
bullies.
sweat. I thought, right, okay, anyone want to play this?
Can we talk about the Billy Gilmore treatment before I bring
You're
in
on
the goat
mute,
to end the
Mike.
year?
You're on mute, Mike.
I can't be on mute.
You're still on mute,
Martin,
mate.
you're a bitch.
Not me.
That's you.
No, you're not on mute. You're not on mute. I
He's
can hear you.
winding you
I can hear
up.
you.
You utter bitch.
He's
Oh,
winding
what is it? You
up.
lot are picking on me tonight.
It's not me.
Mike, you weren't on mute the first time either.
Billy Gilmore
Sorry.
singing at the Palace game. You can fuck off back to Chelsea. I mean, he's there, isn't he? They're like best player, Rich.
Well, if I was him, I'd be getting my agent. I'd be getting on the phone and I'd be getting back there, wouldn't? Because look, it's a minority, isn't it? Really.
He's their
Number one.
scapegoat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But he's their
Because
best player, Mike.
But that's the point, because he's been brought in as their best player to be like, oh, he's gonna do bits for us this season. He's gonna be the great player, but he's still a young player in his own career. For him to really flourish, he needs other players around him as well. There's shit around him, so he's a product of his environment. At Chelsea, he's flourishing because there's quality around him. At Norwich, there's shit around him. He's gonna be shit. That's what it is.
I'd get him back immediately, wouldn't you, Mike? If you were Chelsea?
Oh,
you bastard, Rich.
I'd cancel his loan. I really would.
Mike. Mike.
Well,
I'm really see on the screen. Can't just be in the chat.
I know. I'm building up the courage. Mike scares me when he gets upset. Like, what were you going to say earlier, by the way, Mike?
I was going to say if we were going to
£4.49 from Lee Anderson. Thank you very much. Stunning stuff.
You fucking wankers.
That's like one of those. Do you remember The Rock? Do you remember The Rock in WWF? What's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
Oh, yes. What a way to end the year. What a way. Right, go. Colin, come on in. How you doing?
Colin, help me, mate. They're abusing me on here tonight.
How are you, mate? All right.
I was.
We're good.
Yeah. Kally, Rich,
How you doing,
yeah.
bro?
How are you all?
We're good, Colin. How about you after yesterday's blockbuster of domination?
Yeah, very, very good. Had a good old chat with Rich going home last night, and I hadn't heard the show, travelling home, and we had a chat about Wolfie and that kind of thing. And I must admit,
£5 from David. Thank you very much. Don't forget, you can, of course, pay super chats to stop Colin as well. £5 from David. Thank you very much.
Mate, I've been abused tonight, Colin.
Yeah, but you
Abused.
like it. You like it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
I
love
feel
the
like
abuse.
I've been in a prison cell for too long and they've abused me. Do you know what I mean? I feel violated.
Mike, you got to let it go over that top of that.
Oh,
top
mate,
of
I am.
that
I thought, Joe, right, there's only one way to deal with this. Pull out the diva card, mate.
Oh, and he did that.
Mike
Mike
Carey.
D, yay, Colin, the Bobby Robson drinking game has begun.
What's the drinking game?
Every time he mentions Bobby Robson or a player from that era, drink. You'll be
We
fucking.
even had
drunk.
it, Kally. We
Okay,
even had the Talking Town drinking game on the fucking cricket show when Colin was on. Even got Paul Mariner in the show.
How do you work Bobby Robson and Paul Mariner into England's Ashes?
Colin could work it into anything.
They,
mate, believe
they
me.
knew about striking.
Exactly.
They could play
okay.
better than what that England team have.
That's not hard.
Bobby Robson could play better now than that England
If anyone
team.
hasn't watched the show, it is available to watch on back on catch up. So
He's done some really good numbers. Really
Yeah,
good numbers.
Yeah.
Undersnoozefest.com.
Now, to
I
be
was just
fair,
gonna say, Gav,
I did watch one of them, and it actually it was better than watching the cricket. That's what I can say.
But that's not hard.
I know.
You made a good. It was good. It was good. I like those little cricket.
Colin, Lee says the playoffs are out. Are you saying he's wrong? Are
Who
you saying he's
said
right?
that?
Lee Anderson.
I was
He
talking
said
about
it's
his
out. He
Well, he
said
said
he
it was
said
only
unless we
unlikely.
go on a run.
No. It's Christmas. We got another half a season. You can't say that. That's just talking crap.
You
May
sound
have
so
been
know what's going
stretching
on.
what he said a little bit coaxing.
Yeah, well,
the,
you shouldn't say that then, because you could, poor Lee. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I would like to tell you what he actually fucking said, but the whole time he was on, I was texting you big diva. So I can't.
Oh, I know, mate. And I was laughing at every one of them. I thought, yeah, I got you there, you bastard.
So I can't tell you what Lee was said because I weren't fucking listening to a word of it. Anyway, Colin, playoffs, are they in or out for you still?
I know what's going to happen.
Colin, come on. We're still in it. We're still in it, mate.
I'd just like to say and reiterate what Lee said earlier about. I'll tell you what, that was really fantastic what he said earlier about like the volume in the stadium and
I heard
how
that
we played last night and stuff. And like that young lad who was on, I'll say exactly the same. I feel something's turning, and what I liked about last night more than anything else was with Kieran was at the end, how he had that arm round shoulders and that. And there was just a
Get ready, Gov.
All right, carry on, Colin. Come on, Colin, you got to be quick in this game, son.
there was just a little touch of Bobby Robson there.
Here we go.
I had to get that in, go. No, I think he's just going to be great for the club. I think he's a nice guy. He's unassuming, and I think he'll be really, really good in the dressing room. And I think he's got a lot of respect from them players. I would imagine, from the places where he's worked. He's been at Tottenham. He's been at Man United, and I think he'll get a lot of respect from the players. Through that.
Tell you what, last night when Norwood scored, it was nice to see pretty much every teammate go round to him and give him that well done, even from.
They did that at Wigan. They did that for all the goals. They've been hugging each other.
Not so much again. No, I don't think they were, but that was
Wigan. Everyone celebrated with him. He ran off.
Well, they tried, but he ran off doing the whole, sort of RVD.
Yeah. He kind of had his back to the fans as he scored his goal, didn't he? Yesterday.
The thing is, though, what you say there is quite true because George Nunn, obviously designer George, he's a big believer in team celebrations. So it's a great sort of projection of the team camaraderie. So did they celebrate together? I wasn't there. I don't know. They didn't show us on the iFollow. If they did, I didn't see it. Did they celebrate together, Rich, Mike?
Yeah,
Colin?
they're all over there. They're all over there.
That's good.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think that's anything new.
Mike, I reckon if you scored a goal, you'd do the shirt over the head, wouldn't you, rubbing your belly?
I'd lift the shirt up, mate. Show me godly bod like,
What do you make of this arriving by coach for our own game?
That's a McKenna thing, mentality thing.
Yeah, but what do we make of it?
McKenna's at the wheel.
If it works, it's great. If not, it's tin pot.
Oh, was he driving, Rich?
Was he driving? Yeah, budget
So they go.
he will be.
They do their Playford Road stuff a lot earlier. So
Well,
rather than
that,
them just
Hang on, Colin. Hang on. Cally's
Sorry.
dropping some inside knowledge here. Go on, Kally.
so obviously was told that beforehand it was going to happen anyway, right? But they rather than like say a 3 p.m. kickoff. No, what was 7:45 yesterday, right?
45, yeah.
So they'd have originally, if they were coming in their car, they're getting there for about 6:30 or whatever. So they're coming straight from home. Whereas now they get into the training ground earlier, having their pre-match there and having their stuff there, going over last-minute tactics and stuff like that. Then they're travelling in the coach down there, do the thing, coach back to Playford Road, recovery if they need to, and then go. Because the other thing is, you have a knock or something, and you've got a knock or in a game, and then it's an evening game. You limp off. Obviously, there's a bit of a treatment room in the stadium, but all your kind of tools and all the main recovery bits are going to be at Playford Road. So then you're not going to Playford Road till the next day, and you can't treat things straight away. But it's something that they did at United. But a lot of that was because obviously they stayed at the hotel first, had the dinner, and they travelled across to Manchester. He's brought that down here. I think it'll be beneficial. It works. From the folks I've spoke to, they've said that they enjoy it and it's making a difference, and they're quite happy with it. So
Can they go contactless? Can they go contactless, mine, with Ipswich buses?
They certainly can. I'm just thinking, when Kally said he spoke to a few people, you probably know it's Cristiano Ronaldo and Paul Pogba he's spoken to, don't you? About how they enjoy it. Just sort of person Kally is. You know what I mean?
Don't be silly. It was Rashford and Sancho, right? I have to confess, right? Only MBEs around here.
Okay.
Sorry,
Don't you
mate.
think that having that coach and the way McKenna conducts himself and the way he was last night as a coach, it just seems very professional.
No, it is.
Really
It is
professional, didn't it?
And that's what I mean. As long as it works,
he didn't come out giving it all the glory. Here I am, claps to the fans. He just
but he doesn't strike me as that. He don't strike me as that character anyway, where he's going to be like, I'm the manager on this. He knows he's the coach, right? And he has to coach his players. His man and management stuff. Matt, I told you to keep that D low, bro. Shit. Exclusive Sky Sports News here. Ronaldo's also been talked about, the replacement for Norwood.
Oh, we don't want him. Don't run enough. That doesn't run enough.
He doesn't. Ronaldo doesn't tweet enough for the Ipswich liking, so there's an issue there. But no, while it's all working and everything great, but what will happen is the moment we start losing and shit like that, we will get the piss taken out of us by other teams and all the rest of it, and there will be a split again on the fan base about that. People, as soon as that starts, a couple of bad results happen or whatever, it'll be like, well, we think we're Man United and we think that. I don't think that. I mean, I hate United because of 9-0, right? But I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to emulate what's been done at the top in certain ways. We've tried it on the pitch with passing out from the back and shit like that, where not necessarily going to work in this league, where you got to lump it long. The stuff you can do behind the scenes, it works. It works. Do you know what I mean? So the players are happy with it. If they ain't got an issue with it, and it makes it a lot easier in terms of recovery and preparation and recovery or whatever for games, then so be it.
Fair enough. So I've reading Ben Moore's heard Teddy Bishop was injured. That's why the game's off Saturday. Just used COVID.
Teddy Bishop's been injured since we played them at their place, probably.
Probably.
Biscuit legs.
We're going to end the show of the last show of 2021 very soon. Is there anything else you feel about the new Ipswich Town, the Kieran McKenna, you want to talk about that we're not talking about yet? Rich?
No,
Signings. You want signings, dear Mike? Are you not entertained enough?
Yeah.
Who would you want to bring in?
Well, we were talking about this a few weeks ago, and we mentioned it again earlier in the conversation this morning, wasn't it? Scott Twine.
Aren't we just doing Scott Fraser 2.0 there? Like we're just trying to buy the best.
Not in a million years.
It ain't. Do you remember how long it took for Real Madrid to start winning things, and they used to have all these Galacticos and all the rest of it, but they just could never gel. It ain't always about buying the best players. Man United famously had it bad with George Best.
We're not Man United. We're Ipswich Town.
We get on a fucking coach from Playford Road to the ground. We're fucking up there, all right?
No, we're not. We're right now. We are where we are right now. And quite frankly,
where was Scott Twine fit in?
That's the thing.
Where he fit in?
Yeah.
Well, quite frankly, Tom Carroll came on, was an absolute piss ball last night.
True.
Yeah, but Carroll slotted in like a 3 midfielder. Twine is an attacking midfielder.
You still come on the pitch, supposed to prove yourself. He gave the ball first passes. He gave the ball away.
And that could be
we're supposed to be closing the game out. Do you know what I
Did
mean?
we concede?
No
Did we
disrespect,
concede?
right? But
Gav, can I
players
just
like
say something,
KVY
Gav?
ain't going to be here much longer. I can't see McKenna keeping players like them.
KVY and
I would
Carroll.
take Scott Twine all day long.
All right.
I think KVY and
Who
Carroll
said-
are going to be the ones that you will see more of because
Who had
obviously
Scott?
he's got a history. The manager's got a history with them. He knows them well.
Who had Scott Twine top of their shopping list in the summer?
Well, you did.
Yeah, and he'll be going to the Championship next season. He won't be in League One.
All right. No.
That may be with us next
You
season.
don't know
Who
that,
knows?
Rich. What's wrong with going in for him?
Mike D. We don't need Scott Twine. We've got Nolan coming back.
You laugh, you laugh, but the Ginger Perlo knows what to do at this level.
Yeah.
He scored a few goals for us last year. He'd come
Does
up
he?
with the goods. Listen, he's another player. I think I'm not saying like he's going to change our season drastically, but he'll certainly be better than Tom Carroll. He'll certainly be better than other people in that midfield, and he'll be no worse than Lee Evans has
What's
come
the
about
best
himself
ability,
lately.
Gov? What's the best ability?
Availability.
There you go.
But this is one. He had one long injury, man. Let him come back.
What is actually the matter with him?
Oh, no fucking no.
It was his knee, wasn't it?
I reckon there's to be a Hollywood film next year about him and Emir Hughes, a bromance that finds itself like they drop him. They're going to back a car journey across Route 66 or whatever.
They made a film about it. It was an animation about a fish in the sea. It was called Finding Nolan.
I didn't know that.
It was brilliant.
So,
just keep training. That's all he kept saying.
Like,
brilliant.
Where did they both go? Because Emir Hughes just disappeared this time last year as well. It's like, what the fuck?
I'm sure he's still on the books,
It probably is.
They're just like, you know what? We can't find you a club. Here's your rubles or whatever we're paying you in. I don't know. Get him off.
Well, yeah, right. Colin, go on.
Gav, why can't we go from now to the end of the season? I know what Rich is going to say.
Oh, here we go.
So don't say it, Rich. Don't say it. I know what you're going to say. Why can't we go from now to the end of the season without losing another game? Why can't we? With the squad
You've been
that we've got.
smoking what Stephen Barry had been smoking about 2 months ago.
Because we'll end up losing to a tin pot team like Gillingham or Lincoln. That's what will happen.
Can we just stick with the faith that we're going to make the playoffs?
I still think. Listen, I'm dreaming, mate. Like while it's mathematically possible. Top two are still on.
I'm saying
Top two are still on. It's
I'm not. Kally, I'm not ruling them out, and I mean that. I'm not ruling them out. I can't.
I'm not ruling out top two. I'm not ruling out top two. It's mathematically possible. Who knows? Stranger things have happened in football. Leicester won the fucking Premier League, for fuck's sake.
They did, but I want
to 10 points. We're off the playoffs. Okay, 10 points. Yeah, and the other teams have got game in hand. Right. I would rather have the points in the bag than the game in hand. Right. And
I agree.
so
I agree.
in all fairness, yeah. Right. 10 games is 10 points is what 4 games. You know. Them teams in that top six, because some of them are going to drop out. They ain't good enough to be in the top six.
We've got to play them all again as well. Apart from Sunderland, we're playing and Wycombe. We're playing them all again.
I just want to unpack this. Not get beat. Not. What did you say, Colin?
What, Gav? There's still 22 games to go.
Crunch put something on Twitter earlier, right? What did you say, Crunch? You said the next 5 games, didn't you?
Yeah, next 5. What will we get from the next 5? Now.
Okay, forget Lincoln now. So the next
Colin
4,
says 15.
who are they? Who are the next 4 games? We got Gillingham, I think, will be the next one, which is 8th.
Gillingham,
and then Wimbledon,
Bolton
away, Wimbledon, and then Sheffield. Is it?
No, it's Gillingham, Bolton, Accrington and Stanley,
Wimbledon,
right, and then
Wimbledon,
and then Wednesday.
But then you got Wednesday, so you can say 5.
Okay, so even with Wednesday, with those 5 games, I don't see how we can't beat all 5 teams.
I'm absolutely with you, Kally.
We're playing a formation that the players have been screaming out for all season. A formation that the players are comfortable with, right? That they know.
I'll give you the scoreline at Gillingham now. 0-2.
Nah, I reckon we've got a big 6-0 in there somewhere. We're going to batter someone 6-7-0. It's going to come.
I love it, Kally.
At Wednesday.
Nah, that one's going to be a tight one.
We only turn up for the big games.
Wimbledon away. Wimbledon away.
It's right what Lee says. It's right what Lee Anderson says there in the chat. We can't really even afford many draws, Mark. We need to be winning. We've got to win games.
I do agree.
Listen, we don't know what other teams are going to do. To give up now, you might as well just
Would
look.
you
Leando,
thought? Would
if
you
you're
thought?
going to give up now, mate, stay away from the ground, yeah? Sit at home and watch I Follow, yeah?
Just like you were.
Frankly, mate,
You
you
beat
wouldn't
me
bother
to
turning up
it.
to the games if we're going to think like that.
You beat me to it, Martin.
No, it's true, isn't it?
Hang on, I
What's
went
the
away.
point of thinking like that? If we
I
oh,
went
that's
away to
not it.
fucking Barrow.
Can I ask everyone a question? Let me ask. Yeah, no. Listen, Barrow, what a fucking ground, right? Parked at Asda for free, brilliant. But let me ask a question, right? And I don't need long answer. I just need a yes and a no. And I've forgotten what I was going to ask now, so it doesn't matter. Carry on.
There we go.
I was
That's
too
the way.
laughing. I was laughing
Right.
too much.
So
Fuck knows what I
Colin
was gonna
says
say.
we ain't going to lose a game rest of the year.
Oh no, sorry. No, yeah, I've got it now. Would you have thought? So you've had Sunderland beat Sheffield Wednesday 5-0.
Yeah.
Would you have put that? Would you have put Sunderland down battering Sheffield Wednesday today before that result? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Exactly.
No,
So
no.
the league is so mad. The league is so mad. Anything can happen. Even the results we've had this season, where we've rolled teams over. Would you have thought we'd have done them? Even me as and Colin as the most positive fans, if you like. We weren't thinking 6-0 at home, 4-1, 4-0, all them ones. We weren't thinking that. But
No.
it's
I'm thinking
happened,
10-0.
and we're taking points.
It's like Kieran said though in his post match last
Yeah.
night. He's not looking at the league table, Colin. He's on about we just got the next game. Don't get too far ahead of ourselves because we've done it before and we've done it at the
Really?
start of the season when we said
Mm.
Morecambe, Cheltenham,
What?
AFC
Really?
Wimbledon. We said, I think I said 11. You
did,
said
and me-
15 goals.
Rich,
And you
Well,
said me and
what-
Matt physically
Rich,
played in defence against
what
Morecambe
you
and
just
Cheltenham.
said-
Win our home
Rich,
games, get as many
what
points
you
as we
just
can
said-
away and see where we end up.
Good
Rich,
point. Good
what
point.
you
I
just
thought-
said,
It's the away form's been good.
what you just said totally underlines what kind of manager he is. I totally agree with that. That's why
But
he's
equally-
going to be a very, very good manager for his football club. He's-
I'm not there singing Kieran McKenna's Barmy Army at the moment. I couldn't even sing E-I-E-I-E-O. We're up the football
I
league.
don't even know where he
we
comes
didn't
from.
move.
So.
We stayed in 11th. But the Welsh, Irish, Scottish, Northern Irish, English, let's throw Indian in there as well. Kieran McKenna,
Wherever you want.
right? He's let's see what he does over the next 5-6 games. Right, let's see how he started off well, and I don't want to sound like I'm negative or whatever, but this is like Rich says, we get carried away too often, so we
do
need to
get
keep
carried away
grounded.
easily.
We do.
We need-
Because
All
we
right.
haven't
I
had
mean,
no success. We have no success of the last fuck knows how long.
Exactly.
So
Right,
that's why.
Colin, Mike, I'm going to drop you off now because we're going to end the show, last show of 2021. So thank you
Happy
both
New Year, boys.
Happy
for
New Year, chaps.
appearing throughout the year. Thank you
Happy
ever so
New Year.
much. Look after
Happy New Year,
yourselves.
lads.
We'll get a few more comments. They got Julian Toot. They are studying the position better now for sure. Paul Wednesday was shocking tonight. Yeah. Look, I'm excited. I mean, I'm not quite Colin's level of going to go unbeaten rest of the year, or not going to lose another game rest of the year, but
Rest of the year.
rest of the season. You know what I mean. Football years and calendar years are completely different. Matt Stannard, yes, game, but game. But let's not forget the importance of consistency. We need to be consistent across the game, not good one game, bad the next. That's my way with game by game.
And that's what we saw under Cook. I was a Cook fan till he left, right?
You were.
I still have him now. the Cook boat sailed, right? But he's only had, I think he did 2 back-to-back wins, which was one was in the EFL trophy against Gillingham as well, and then the other one was in the league. So he's only had 1 league run where he's had 2 back-to-back wins.
Yeah.
So it was inconsistent. Now, for the first time, like Saturday's game and yesterday's game, we looked good. We looked better yesterday than we did Saturday, so you can see the improvements. But it was almost like we started to see some consistency already. So that that's encouraging. And like I said, 3-5-2 suits this squad.
Yeah.
And
as I've been saying that, most of the year.
And I think we'll probably also see 4-3-3 get thrown around in there a few times as well. Certainly, we're seeing bits of it. Was it the Sunderland game? I think we saw it in the second half a little bit.
Yeah, and obviously Barrows, where we first sort of blew the dust off that formation.
To Selena come back, Kally, in that team.
Yeah,
seeing what he can do.
Who?
Selena.
Who's that?
His wonder goal.
Not seen him. Nah, that's the thing. Where's he going to fit? Because remember before we had the conversation about who's your number 10 in the
In that
formation
Luco
before,
role.
and I said before about half time, I said Luco looks like he needs to be playing wider, but actually he did all right yesterday, right? He did okay. I still think he's more effective out on the wing, out on the touchline, than coming in. I think Chaplin's a better number 10. I think that's natural. But then, where does Fraser come in? Where does Selena come in? Or Santi? Or Morecambe's favourite goal of the season person? Where does he come in?
This is it, and this is remains to be seen. But the 5-game, I think, is a really good test to see where you're at. It's consistency. It's against a good range of teams. Just be a good time to see where we're at. But that is
what's a good point tally? What's a good point tally for us to say that we're on the road to?
I think 12.
Obviously, I'm going crazy saying top 2, but say even 6, 12. Yeah,
I think 12 out of 15. You've got to be
anything below 12. It's sailing. Yeah,
it's curtains. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it really is. Particularly if you get beat by Wednesdays above you, for example. You can't give up ground to teams above you, particularly.
The opportunities we've got to take points
above. We play well against Sunderland. We play well against Wigan. Wednesday at home, we've drawn against all these. When we play Wednesday again, Wigan again, we need to be beating them.
The only positive to
we need to start taking points off them now.
Definitely. The postponements is that if you can get yourself in a consistent run, then now eventually the games are going to come really thick and fast because of these postponements. And if you and that could also work in respect of a team that could be flying high at the moment. If they get themselves into a towel spin, they'll come thick and fast, and they'll go through a towel spin quicker than perhaps normal because they're playing Saturday, Tuesday.
Well, why do you think
a lot more than they would have been? So it can work either way, and it could be a good time for us to catch fire and be lightning in a bottle.
Why do you think Gillingham and why do you think Lincoln are postponing these games? Because they're 23rd.
The only teams
the form table.
Even throughout the whole
EFL,
No, but the whole football pyramid, right? You go up to the top to the Premier League. The teams that are calling for games to be postponed or whatever is when they've taken a bit of a rough game or they're not finding their feet or their form or whatever. And it's like, shit, we ain't got enough about us to get through these last couple of games. They're the ones calling for it. The teams that are in form are like, just let's get on with it. Let's go on. You don't hear, I ain't heard Sunderland, maybe they have, I don't know, or Sunderland or Rotherham saying we need to call off things. I can't imagine Rotherham squad's exactly massive.
But listen, the way they decided to end the first season due to the pandemic said all it needs to say to me about how football clubs govern or manage the football. It's shark eat shark, it's dog eat dog.
Leaves it open for teams to basically take the piss.
Teams, well, we played them last night, voting to end the season early so they can get in the playoffs. Absolutely.
And the thing is, all you're doing is you're going to the EFL and saying, I'm reporting 5 positive COVID tests. At best, I don't think they're asking for you to send.
Are they doing that even, or are they just saying we can't raise a squad due to?
No, I think they're just asking for if you ever done a lat flow test to go into Portman Road as an example, you get it on your phone and it says you're negative, positive, or whatever, right? Now, how do you do that? Even though you've done it, you can if you check positive, you can still put negative, or if you check negative, like you test negative, you could still check positive on the actual app. I'm being a cynic here because I think these clubs are tin pot and I think they're using everything they can to try and get out of things. And it is because when Bolton were going through all their shit a couple of seasons ago, they had to pay their under 9s. Norwood got a hat-trick against Bolton's under 9s. Why can't they do the same thing now?
Yeah, just to remind everybody, the views are their own and not of me or the network or our partners. Look, right, last show, 2021 is done. It's in the books. We've had a fantastic year from club owners. Yes, that was this year, to players. What an amazing year. So thank you all for being with us.
Before you go, I want to do a Colin and just want to say, obviously it's the first season we're back after all the pandemic and everything.
It is.
Obviously this platform's been going just over a year now anyway, so it's the first season it's actually been at the games. We all have our disagreements, we all have different ideas and different views and everything, but it is a good community. It is inclusive. It's one of those where everyone gets on with it. There's no ill thoughts. I've had rants at Rich and other people, and then the next game we're hugging each other and celebrating the goal or whatever, right? That's just football, right?
Yeah.
But what you guys have built, and particularly you, Crunch and Matt, right? But you three there, and what you've done in giving people a platform as well, it's been wicked. So my highlight of 2021 or the season so far has been seeing Talking Town really take form at the live games and stuff like that. So I would take my hat off to you, but I need a trim. So I love you, but not that much.
Thank you. That means a lot.
All right.
And you say about, we often have disagreements. Well, this video package to end the year might cause a few. Tell me if you can tell me what my favourite sort of film genre is from this. See you in the new year. Good night.